So once you call to the floor, then you'll be able to be presented. This will help us follow the meeting guidelines of Robert Rules of Order, which requires only one person to be called to the floor at one time and one person to be speaking at one time. Again, if you are online, please try to keep the device muted at all times until you call to the floor. Also, I want to give a couple of shout outs. So first and foremost, we attended the Beltline sneak peek that was sponsored by District 12 office. And the Southside Beltline looks awesome. If you wasn't able to attend, please go ahead and visit the Southside. So everything from Metropolitan down to the bridge where Prairie is built out and is paved. It has lighting. It has a ramp access from Pittsburgh Yards. They still need to create the ramp that goes from Pryor, but they are looking to continue that building and look to be done in spring of next year. Also, they're looking for funding as well, which we have submitted a letter of support to the Department of Transportation so that they can get the funding to finish out building out the Beltline. Also, I want to give a shout out to James Holmes, who was unanimously voted of approval to be part of the advisory committee for the Beltline Tax Allocation District on APAB. So he is on this agenda for new business to be voted by NPU-Y as well. I want to give a shout out to the Joyland community. They kickstarted their monthly meetings. They're now doing monthly meetings in the last Wednesdays. Also give a shout out to Jessica Rogers, who started up Friends of Langford Park, which is a nonprofit that is going to be in partnership with Park Pride. And we look forward to working with her with development with Langford Park. We're going to move forward towards the approval of the minutes. All those who are in favor, use the raise hand feature at this time, approving the minutes. The minutes is located in the npuy.org website.
Mr. Chair, point of order. Mr. Chair, point of order. Someone has to motion for approval. We get a second and then we can vote.
You're absolutely correct. I'd like to solicit a motion of approval.
So moved.
Moved by Gloria. Can I get a second?
Second, Kelly Jean.
Seconded by Kelly Jean. All those in favor, use the raise hand feature at this time. The minutes are currently on the shared screen by James. All right, we have 9. I am going to drop the hands now. So everybody's clear. All those who are not in favor, all those who are not in favor of approval of the minutes, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, vote carries 9-0-0. I'd like to move forward for the approval of the agenda. James is bringing it up now. I'd like to solicit a motion for approval.
Nicole White, so motion.
Motion for Nicole. Can I get a second?
Second, Kelly Jean.
Seconded by Kelly Jean. All those who are in favor for approval of the agenda, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, we have 9. And
yes.
All those opposed the approval of the agenda, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. Motion carries 900. If you are a department representative from the city of Atlanta, please enter in your contact information at this time if you have not done so. We're going to go ahead and start with fire. I think I saw Captain Adams online. Captain Adams, you are called to the floor.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Anthony Dobson, Battalion Chief, Battalion 1 with Atlanta Fire. Just a couple of things to put out. Next month's going to start our fire safety month. It's a pretty big month for us because we try to, on calls, when we go on calls, we try to make sure people's houses are safe. They got smoke detectors and also fire extinguishers. So that's one big thing that we try to push for is people getting the fire extinguisher put in their kitchens and things like that. Car seat program is up and running. We do have car seats at the Station 2 and Station 30. That'll be on Jonesboro and Cleveland. Also, we still have the closed door campaign. You know, when you leave home, be sure to close your doors. If something was to happen, it could save a lot of property from being damaged. But with that being said, I'm glad to be here, and I'll be glad to ask any questions that you might have for us. Also, we're starting our hydrant season again next month. So you'll see the fire trucks out doing the fire hydrants again. And this is where we're also going to look at any fire hydrant that was taken care of back in March and April that has not been repaired. We'll get with our departments and try to make the necessary steps to take care of that also. So with that being said, I'll take any questions you might have.
Is there any questions for the benefit of the body? Please use the raise hand feature this time. Gloria?
Yes, sir. Chief Dodson, you're also providing the fire smoke alarms as well. Are those still being provided?
Yes, ma'am. We have the smoke alarms. They also have the CO alarms attached to them also. So
pick up at the stations.
Yes, ma'am. Pick up at the station. And what we do is we normally we'll have the doors, of course, will be locked because we're dealing with the COVID pandemic still. So when you come to the station, what we'll do is we'll either have you come into the Bay Area to sit you down, depending on the climate or the weather, and then we'll bring you exactly what you need.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any more questions for the benefit of the body? Please use the raise hand feature this time. All right, appreciate it. Battalion Chief Dobson, for everything you do. Thank you for keeping us cool.
Thank you guys very much. I want to give a shout out also to all of our APD members. They're doing a great job out there. So you guys take care and have a great evening.
All right, you too. I'd like to open the floor for the Atlanta Police Department. Captain Adams.
How's everybody doing? This is Captain Adams, Assistant Zone 3 Commander, and thank you, Chief, for y'all's continued support for the Atlanta Police Department. Couldn't do it without you all, team collaborations, as well as the NPU-Y. I just want to start off by saying hello to everyone. Nothing significant so far this month, in the month of September. So far we just have 3 burglaries, 11 larcenies from vehicles, and 7 ag assaults. Most of those are ags, aggravated assaults of people, acquaintances, domestic violence in nature. Some of them been closed by arrest on scene, and some of them been closed by warrants taken out by our ag assault unit. And some of them have been some shootings and 2 robberies. Last month we just had 2 homicides in this corridor, which was one was at 501 Burroughs Avenue. That was the kidnapping of the Asian female, which was closed by an arrest, and 1677 Lakewood, where the guy was shot and pretty much bled to death. That case is still currently being investigated by Atlanta Police Homicide Squad. But other than that, we're still pushing out the Clean Car campaign. Don't leave your cars running. Don't leave no valuables. Just be, see something, say something, and don't ever think that the housekeeping things in your neighborhood, such as the quality of life issues, always feel free to call and let our quality of life officers come out there and look at these locations and, get with 311 to get the areas cleaned up. But overall, I just want to say thank you for you all's support. And one last thing I want to say is when the next Citizens Police Academy, I'd like to get more of the NPUs in Zone 3 more involved. I just want to tell Gloria Hawkins, thank you for your everlasting support for the department. And if I'm leaving off anybody, please feel free to raise your hand saying that you are sign up for the Citizen Police Academy. I think it's real good for the police department and the citizens to know how, looking at it from both sides of the fence and how you all see how the Atlanta Police Department operates. I think it's very important. It gives us a voice in the community that actually comes from community leaders, and I just want to tell you thank you. And I'm excited each time they have one, but I'm free to take any questions at this particular time.
Please use the raise hand feature if you have any questions. I'm gonna start with Sherry Williams.
Hi, thank you, Captain Smith, for your service.
Captain Adams.
I'm sorry, Captain Adams, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I am a graduate of the Citizens Police Academy.
Awesome.
Also served with Gloria Hawkins Wynn on the Citizens Review Board. And I want to encourage residents to take advantage of the Atlanta Citizens Police Academy. You will look at your neighborhood totally differently after you do a ride along with the police and you get all the other information. It's just a real eye opener. And I just strongly recommend as many people as possible take advantage of the opportunity.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Gloria?
Lastly, Captain Adams, you're being modest. I think you need to report how the APLI and the sergeants came into South Atlanta along with Chris, our prior chair, and did a cleanup on the 3rd. I think you need to tout the horn of those young sergeants who came in. Please do.
Pardon me for my thank you, Gloria. I'm glad I definitely did leave that off. And as well as APLI 4, they had another cleanup. That's the future leaders that APD prepares for the department. They are all lieutenants. Some are sergeants being standing by to be promoted to lieutenants. They did a cleanup out there near Jonesboro and McDonough in that corridor. And it was a pretty good turnout. And it gives the community the opportunity to see the Atlanta Police Department working with its partners in the neighborhoods. And it went off very well. People were able to put in their inputs. Everybody's able to talk to each other, get to know each other, and plan for future endeavors in this adventure with the APLI 4. But I just want to send a shout out again to the community members that came out there. I think one of the council people came out. I know Mr. Bond came out and participated. But thanks again for your support.
Yeah, shout out for that. Appreciate that. I appreciate for all the work that you do, Captain Adams.
Yes, sir. And you all take care of yourselves. And you got my email in the chat. Any complaints, concerns, feel free to email me, and we definitely will check them out or get back with you to get the information that you're trying to get to us. So thanks again.
No problem. All right, moving forward to the Department of Public Works Suite Team, Officer Lawrence.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I just have a couple of things this evening. Starting with, I know I've been getting a couple of emails in reference to illegal dumping. So please, if you see anybody illegal dumping, again, please don't approach them. But if you are able to get video of them actually dumping, the license plate, and maybe a picture of the individual, that will really help in prosecuting these individuals in court. And we have had some success with it. So if you see that, please send me that email immediately, and we will get with our contact in APD and go ahead and start the process to go ahead to find those individuals to hold them responsible. But please don't approach them, because I don't want you guys to be putting yourself at risk for anything to happen to you. Also, as it relates to illegal dumping again, the SWEET team, we put in a request for another department to come and pick up those items. If you find that they're still out there past the time, feel free to contact me back, but we will be following up on those requests. But just give it a little time, because we do have a little bit of people have been dumping just all over the city. So kind of bear with us on that part. Also, we do have crews that are still working past their shifts on the weekends, holidays and all, to try to get your yard trimmer, recycling, and garbage. So just be patient. I'm going to put my email information in the chat again. So if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me and I'll follow up with you.
Thank you. Is there any questions for the benefit of the body? Please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right. Thank you, Officer Lawrence, for everything that you're doing.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
All right, you too. Moving forward to Parks and Recreation, Gerard Jackson.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gerard Jackson. I'm the Community Facility Manager for the Gilbert House, South Bend, and Perkinson Park. A couple updates I'd like to talk about right now. We're looking at reopening South Bend this Monday, the 27th. We also looking to start our after-school program there on the 27th. Also, our after-school programs for South Bend and Perkinson will be with the partnership with the Atlanta Music Project. So children participating in the after-school project program will not only get homework help, but they also get music instruction, how to read music and how to play various instruments. I want to also let everybody know that our football team has started their games. They already went through 2 games. Their games on every Saturday of the week for the next 5 weeks. This year we had a 6 and under, 8 and under, 10 and under, and 12 and under football team. I want to let everybody know that we're also looking into having basketball this year. Further information on that will be presented at our next meeting. At this time, if there's any question pertaining to recreation or the parks, let me know.
Is there any questions for the benefit of the body? Please use the raised hand feature at this time. All right, appreciate Gerard for keeping us having fun at the parks. All right, moving on. We're gonna go with 311. Jenny Wilson or Allison Murillo.
Yes, I'll be speaking. Hi, I'm Allison Murillo.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to say thank you for letting me present tonight. My name is Allison Murillo. I'm a support services coordinator with ATO 311. And just in case there are some individuals that don't know what 311 is, we are the non-emergency call center for Atlanta services. You can call us and report things like street maintenance, questions with your water bill, solid waste services, code violations, and any sort of traffic, repairs and such. We are open from 7 to 7, Monday through Friday. If you are outside of the city, you can call us directly at 404-546-0311. And if you're inside the city, you can dial 311. And that will get you over to an agent who will be more than happy to take your request. We also have many ways you can reach out to us. You can reach out to us on social media. We have a mobile app that you can download. You can visit our website. or you, of course, can email us. I'm going to put all the contact information into the chat here. And as a support services coordinator, our team works directly with an organization called PAD. PAD is an initiative that provides community referral services for individuals that are experiencing quality of life concerns, such as extreme poverty, mental health, substance use issues. Community members can call 311 or directly into the main number if you're outside, and you can make a referral to us. And then what we do is we turn around and we will take all the information, and when we forward it to PAD, depending on the urgency of the situation, they will send a team out. And if you want more information, like I said, I'll have some chat information in the chat. And if you have any other questions, just please let me know. And I thank you again for letting me present.
Absolutely. Is there any questions for the benefit of the body to Allison? All right, appreciate it, Allison, for everything that you're doing with 311.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, is there any other city representative that I missed? I don't see anybody else that put their information in the chat. Is there any other city representative? Use the raise hand feature at this time, outside of council persons. All right, we have a little bit of extra time, so I'm gonna go ahead and have the council people briefly speak. Councilperson Shepherd.
Good evening. I'm glad to be with you all this evening. Typically on first and third Mondays, sometime I can't come in because we're still in council meeting, but tonight was a great day. We finished early, so I was glad to be able to come in. Just want to give you a few updates. First of all, as we talked about APD and all the work they're doing, just want y'all to know also that APD has actually have now are temporarily at Atlanta Metropolitan College. They're the academy temporarily. We had to close the academy because of issues with the structure they were existing in. So they, as of 1st of August, are now at Atlanta Metropolitan College. They're leasing a floor and a half at Atlanta Metropolitan College in collaboration with the students over there. So we've been over to visit. I've been over to visit and taken a tour, and they are very happy to be there. There was just like days away from where they were coming from. And so they're very happy to be there until we figure out what's going to happen with our new training academy. The next thing that I just want to let you all know is, Troy, I heard you earlier talking about the Beltline and the sneaker peek that we did a couple of weeks ago, last weekend, and it was great to see you and the family and all the folks in the community out there. Gloria, you were out there. I saw a bunch of people from all parts of the community out there. It was a sneaker peek. And it's beautiful where we're finally at a point that we're actually getting our Beltline on the south side of Atlanta. And that for me, I did that sneaker peek specifically because so many people in the community have been waiting so long for it. We will have an official opening with the mayor that's tentatively set for October the 12th. Now that's on a Tuesday at 9:30 in the morning. So that's 10th right now. As soon as we confirm all of that, we'll be getting that back to you. But we did it last Saturday, just on a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day, and we just sneaked a peek, and people came out in droves, and it was just absolutely great to see all the folks out there. When you go out there now, we're still doing landscaping. It's not complete, so we've just opened up the trail, but we still got a lot of landscaping and things to do. But if you haven't been out there, go and check it out. It's absolutely great. And now from where we are now, you can actually get on that trail and go west all the way to Washington Park. So if y'all want to bike it or walk all the way to Washington Park and back, it is a great trail and we're excited about it. And as Tori said earlier, we hope to, in the next year or two, that we will have the extension of that trail continue as we get funding for it. So thank you all for coming out and being involved with that. We know we talked about cameras in South Side of Atlanta and in my participatory budget. We're literally almost at the very end where we're actually getting ready to actually look at where we're going to install the cameras. For this particular area, one thing in focus is on in Joyland community. We actually are putting cameras up in Joyland where there's a major drug problem in Joyland. So we'll be putting cameras up there. We're also putting cameras, or actually looking at doing an assessment of cameras at the corner of Pryor and University. We believe there are some cameras already there, but if not, we'll be installing new cameras and making sure that the cameras there are repaired. So right at the corner of University and Pryor, there will be cameras installed there for this concentrated area. I just want to let you all know about that. Hopefully that will be completed. That project will be completed and you all get confirmation on that within the next month of exactly where they're going to be installed all over the city, all over my district. Also, just want to let you all know that Arthur Langford, we just actually did legislation today that was passed today. We have gotten 3 grants for parks across the city, and we were blessed that Arthur Langford actually received a grant of $47,850 from SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. And that funding will be to, they've come out and look, they're gonna resurface inside the parks in terms of patches, cracks, backboards, refurbishing backboards, painting, just really doing a facelift to Arthur Langford Park. And we actually passed that legislation today. So between now and the spring, by spring, you will see another facelift to Arthur Langford Park in terms of keeping the park up. I'm sure if y'all haven't been out there, please go and check out the mural that has been installed in the park with the Parks Department. It has been installed in the last 2 months, and that was through an artist by Ashley Dotson in the Bureau of Cultural Affairs. So we're doing everything we can to keep that park up. We also continue to looking at any crime or issues in the park, but we are working on all of that as we speak. And I think that's all I have right now, unless people have questions for me.
Thank you. Is there any questions for the benefit of the body? Please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, thank you, Councilperson Shepherd, for all the.
Thank you.
All right, moving forward is Councilperson Smith's office is on the line. Cheryl Bennett. All right, moving forward, I'm gonna briefly allow the Goodwill to present. I think they have a time constraint. So Goodwill, are you available? Just send me an email.
Yes, give me half a second to get situated and I'll be ready to roll.
All right, thank you.
Is there a presentation, Troy? Do I need to stop sharing? No.
Is there a presentation?
Yes, this is Keith Parker with Goodwill. Hopefully you all can
Keith
hear.
Parker, is there a presentation available or
No,
you?
no, just me yapping for a few
Okay,
minutes.
awesome.
So, well, thank you all for the opportunity to come out and chat with you for a few minutes about a wonderfully exciting project we have coming up on Metropolitan Parkway. I always start these discussions by asking how many of you have either shopped in or donated to a Goodwill? And so just about everybody raises their hand because if you haven't shopped, you've almost certainly donated. So what most don't know is that with those 68 stores that we have sprinkled throughout North Georgia, which by the way, makes us larger than Target in the state of Georgia, that we take the profits from those interactions where you donate things and we sell those items to other folks and use it for workforce development. We're now the #1 workforce development nonprofit in the state of Georgia and one of the #1 workforce development places in the entire country. In fact, this past year, we helped over 24,000 people find jobs, connected them to jobs, and only a very small percentage of those were directly with Goodwill. We help employers like Amazon, Home Depot, Coca-Cola, you name it, from the large firms down to very small companies, even small mom and pop shops. We help them find the folks to fulfill their employment needs and help people move from a job to a better job onto a career. So this really exciting project we've got going at Metropolitan Parkway is under construction. We'll have a brand new store and a career center, and and schedule open sometime either late November or towards the end of the year. And from that facility, we'll be able to do a whole host of things, including all manner of job training, all manner of workforce development and what have you. So the purpose of tonight is to begin the discussion about the types of things you'd like to see at that career center, what types of job training you'd like us to present, and we'll get moving on that. We see this as a wonderful partnership. At our closest facility to you currently, which is our facility in South DeKalb, we serviced about 8,000 people last year, helping almost 4,000 folks find jobs right out of that facility, all around North Georgia. And with that, Mr. Chair, I can take any questions.
All right, I see a couple that's in the chat. We'll start with Sherry Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Parker, for being here, telling us about what's going on with Goodwill. Can you tell me whether or not you are going to be doing any type of training that has to do with jobs that are in demand, as well as jobs that are predicted to be in demand? And the reason why I'm asking that question is because, all too often, there's a disconnect between living wage jobs that are available and the skill set of people who can meet those requirements.
Ms. Williams, that's an excellent question. And the answer is yes. So what we try to do is meet people where they are. And so that ranges from folks who literally have, let's say, a military veteran who's been in the military for 25 years, but hasn't interviewed for a job in decades. And he or she may literally, all they might need is somebody to review their resume, give them a few interview skills, and help them put some feelers out there. And that's all they might need, literally 1-2 hours of help from us. And then we have people sort of in the middle who need some help, maybe with building up some of their job skills, some of their soft skills, how to communicate in certain ways, how to send off email, how to respond to a difficult situation at work, some customer service training, what have you. So we help people in that mode. And then we help people who need all sorts of help. Folks who might be coming out of the criminal justice system, people who may be in their mid-30s and never had a job before, folks who have, for one reason or another, just been very, very difficult finding employment. And so we help all of those folks, and we do it with what we call the ABC approach: a job, better job, career. And depending on where you are, we will meet you in that place to get you to the job of your dream. So we're working right now with folks in healthcare, where there's extraordinary high demand. Lots of jobs now for women in non-traditional occupations, such as in construction, in transportation, whole host of things. A lot of IT positions are now available. We're providing instruction free of charge to the user, so they can come out with various certifications and ready to work. Even things such as apartment maintenance, where we teach people plumbing, electrical work, sheetrocking, all of those things. And they come out, again, free of charge to that person. They come out 11, 12 weeks later, ready to take a $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 a year job. And so again, we meet you wherever you are. It's completely free for the user. Just contact us on our website. Tia Banks, who's on this call with me, I'm sure she'll put in the chat how to contact us, and we'll work with you starting now. You don't even have to wait until the building's complete. We're doing these things now, but once the building's complete, we'll work with you directly in your communities to, again, help people find the jobs and careers of their dreams.
So my follow-up to that is any of this done with the unions?
So the employer would be the ones who will be working with the unions. So the employee would come directly to us. So let's, for example, a person who wants to be a post office worker, but doesn't have the customer service training, doesn't have the customer service skills, may need some work on basic computer type things. They may come to us and we'll give them all those skills. And now
Okay, no, I was thinking of more like plumbers. There's, the plumbing union sometimes do their own training. So
now they might do
electrical
that.
Stuff like that.
We don't require a person to be a member of a union or not be a member of a union. So it's totally up to that individual. But if they come to us needing help with some basic skills and even some advanced skills, we don't require them to be in a union or don't hold it against them if they are in one. So we're just agnostic on that.
All right,
No,
we're
no,
gonna
no,
call
no.
for one more
Okay,
question.
I just want to
Chair-
clarify,
Chair-
not that you require them to be in the union, but the unions do some training and some mentoring. And what
Okay.
do they call them? Apprenticeships? That's what I was referring to.
And Keith,
Understood.
we're gonna take that. Sheriff, you could just send them a
I'm
check.
sorry, I'm
Right
sorry.
now.
Okay, thank you.
And then we're gonna allow for one more question before we move on for time purposes. Shantae, did you have anything?
Yes, thank you so much. Mr. Parker, I just wanted to ask, what are you guys looking at for your opening date? And thank you so much for all that you do.
So the only pitfall we've got going right now with this on determining opening date is like 1.5 things. One is simply weather. It's been raining so much lately. We know that harms our ability to stay on schedule. So we got that going. And the half thing is there's always some little monkey wrench that comes up late in the game that one of the groups who will end up giving us full approval to move in, that might come up. But we're still targeting late November or sometime in December. We'll keep you all updated on that. But we're really excited about joining this part of town because we don't have much of a presence other than our West End store. But we're really excited about being true partners all around the Metropolitan Parkway area. And I think I saw Councilwoman Shepherd's hand go up, but I'll leave it up to Mr. Chair whether or not I can answer her question.
All right, last question here. Councilperson Shepherd, you have the floor.
Now, I just want to say thank you, Mr. Parker, for your commitment. State Representative Schofield and I met with you about 3 or 4 years ago and was looking at another place on the south side to put this store and couldn't get it there, but you came back. You was very diligent in making sure we had a commitment on the south side of Atlanta. So we are here, you have it. I'm so proud. This is truly something that will actually lift our community from an economic development perspective in terms of our demographics. So I just want to say thank you for your commitment to the south side of Atlanta. I know you'll be doing some collaboration with Atlanta Technical College and Atlanta Metropolitan College too. So when we looked at all that was coming to Goodwill, as we talked about and dreamed and visioned it, we're now at a perfect spot. And so thank you. That's all I have to say.
Yep, and thank you, council member, and love working with you and the state rep. And I'll say this too, I'm an urban planner by trade, and lots of y'all know I work with Marta as well. But the number one thing you can prevent, number one thing you can do to prevent a kid or even an adult from getting into crime, help them get a good job. And that's what we're here for. So you all have a great evening. We look forward to a wonderful partnership and many, many great things to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Keith, for everything that you're doing with Goodwill. We appreciate that you are, as Councilwoman Shepherd said, that you are in our side of town and making sure that people have jobs as well as clothing on our back, as my wife is a great thrifter.
All right. Well, you all again have a great evening.
All right, appreciate it. Moving forward, I'm gonna go ahead and do the last presentation, James, since we ain't here. I know I'm jumping around on the agenda and this shouldn't do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and move to the Henry Louis Hank Aaron New Beginnings Academy.
Yes, sir. Good evening. I did have a PowerPoint, but I will try my best to make it quick. So Henry Louis Hank Aaron New Beginnings Academy, it was formerly known as Forest Hills Academy. Not sure if anyone knows where that is. And I did introduce myself. I am Jacqueline Gilliard. I am the school social worker at Henry Louis Hank Aaron New Beginnings Academy. So I just wanted to present a little bit, just to discuss some of our needs and how we can connect with the community. So just some partnership goals is to be able to connect the community to provide support to our students and our families, to be able to utilize community resources to assist students in being successful academically and behaviorally, and to just bridge the gap between the community and our school. So just some of our partnership needs. I know at this time, mainly as a school social worker, our main focus is attendance, having our students come there. daily and on time, but also addressing behavior. So Henry Lewis, Hank Aaron New Begins Academy is an alternative school. So one of our main focuses is to just help them to mature socially and emotionally. So some of the things we are looking for just for us, assistance in getting incentives for them, because just the funds that we do get throughout the school system, they do not provide gift cards or food, which is mostly some of the things that our students enjoy. We do have monthly celebrations. Our first one will be September 30th, and that is where we celebrate the students who are improving behaviorally, who are attending school daily on time, who are doing well academically or making improvements. We also have behavior aides who will be working closely with students. And so they also just want assistance with getting incentives to be able to reward those students who are meeting their behavior goals. Another one of the needs that I have seen since students have been enrolling is just the need for uniforms. We do assist or allow a lot of students to register who are from low income neighborhoods. So a lot of times they don't have or not able to in that moment. It may take a few months to be able to get the uniforms that the student needs. So our uniform colors for shirts are black, gray, and white, and for khaki pants. Sorry, and that is it. If anyone
That's
has
it? All right.
questions. Yes, my apologies. I just got quiet.
No worries. Is there any questions for the benefit of the body for Henry Lewis, Hank Aaron, New Beginnings Academy? Where is it located? You mind me asking?
It's 2930 Forest Hills Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, 30315.
Okay.
That's, guys, you know where it is, right there at 75 at the expressway where Crystals is, where the old Kmart's is and all that area there. It's been an alternative school for quite some time, and it was called Forest Hill Academy, but APS went through a whole structure of renaming schools that was tied to some confederacy, and so they renamed it to Hank Aaron Academy. And so, but it's been there for quite some time, and it's an excellent alternative school. I think it's the only one we have in the city of Atlanta right now. Is that right?
Yes.
It's a great school.
Awesome. Is there any other questions
Mr. Chair,
for the benefit of the body?
Mr. Chair, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Jacqueline, I just pasted our secretary email in the chat. If you can email that presentation, I will upload it in our Google Drive to make it available to everyone here today.
Yeah, I do have a copy as well. I can get it to you. I forgot that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. All right, moving forward, we're gonna go ahead and move into matters of voting. Appreciate it, Jacqueline, for all the work that you're doing.
You're welcome. And I will put my information as well in the chat, just in case anyone wants to reach out if you have any more questions or if you would like to partner with us.
Sounds good. I would like to call Emily Fisher to the floor to give a brief. This has been deferred from the last meeting to this meeting for the fact that we wanted her to go back to Lakewood Heights and present before their community so we can get a vote from Lakewood Heights before we move to the NPU. She has done that, and I would like her to spend a couple of minutes to talk about the Elevate Southview Cemetery reunion.
Hi, I'm Emily Fisher from the Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs. I'd like to be able to share my screen, and I've also brought our curator to speak about this event in a very concise manner to give you a great picture of what we have planned.
Awesome, you can go ahead and share now.
Okay. All right, so Charmaine, would you like to unmute and discuss this a little?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm grateful for the time and the work that I'm hearing, at least even on this call, of what you're doing in this community. It's exciting to hear. And we're excited at the Office of Cultural Affairs to add to that list of exciting programming for this particular community. We are partnering with Emory University and the Praise House Project to present a day of remembrance at Southview Cemetery. And this comes at the request of the Southview Cemetery Foundation, hoping to bring attention to the history that is at Southview. So this day, we're calling it a reunion in the sense that after the pandemic, we've all been separated, but we'd like to gather again in honor of our ancestors. That's the concept around the project, that we would celebrate the history that is at Southview Cemetery.
Thank you. Well, did you want to briefly explain this slide here, or did you want to move
I
to-
can explain here. So this would be inside the cemetery to allow for a small dance performance and, you know, bring people further into the space. And then across the street, we have the Praise House location, and we've actually added an extra security officer to this event. It will be off-duty APD officer to make sure that people are safe crossing the roadway and that we're not blocking traffic with this event.
Awesome. So from the Lakewood Heights has approved this 7-2 vote. They have approved this specific reunion. Also, I'd like to note that they did go before NPU-Z. NPU-Z denied the vote. So I just want to make that known as well. And then from the executive team, we chose to defer to whatever Lakewood Heights would like to do. So at this time, we would like to solicit a motion. Like to solicit a motion.
Motion to approve based on Lakewood Heights recommendation.
Motion to approve based on Lakewood Heights. Can I get a second?
Second, Kelly Jean or Gloria.
Seconded by Kelly Jean. I'd like to open the floor briefly for discussion. Gloria?
Yeah, I can say there was some reticence on the part of some about the event. It passed. I think Z, which is the community directly adjacent to it. In fact, 2/3 of the cemetery is actually in NPU-Z. I think it's a much older community and felt that the celebration on the cemetery, which is a historical African-American cemetery, I think John Lewis is buried there, that they were very reticent about it. I think my understanding initially is there's several hundred individuals that are supposed to participate. That was the projection. Is it right, Ms. Fisher? That was
We said the maximum number that's allowed at this event would be 150.
And some of the questions were raised as, you know, what if there's a funeral there? But again, it passed Lakewood, but there was, and I think some folks compared it to Oakland, and we were apprised by the city that Oakland is a park and that those kind of celebrations occur there. But again, it passed, but I just felt it was important to just kind of put out some of the apprehension or reticence of some participants.
Awesome. Is there any other concerns, questions for the benefit of the body? Seeing none, we're going to move forward with the motion to approve. Motion to approve. All those who are in favor, please raise your hand at this time. In order to be a voting member, I forgot to mention, you must have attended 3 out of the last 12 months. 3 out of the last 12 months. This will be your 3rd meeting at least. All right. All right, James, what we have?
I have eight yes.
8 yes. I am going to close this out. All those who are not in favor, please use the raise hand at this time. All those who wish to deny, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right.
One, Mr. Chair.
1. All right, closing it out now. All those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, where are we, James?
5 is abstentions, Mr. Chair. Total 8 yes, 1 no, 5 abstain.
All right, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Moving forward, V21. One more up, James. We missed one.
Sorry, my apologies. Trying to move us along here.
All right, moving forward to V21-185 is the applicant online. Is the applicant online at this time? All right, seeing none. Also, Choswood Park did not, also Choswood Park has not seen the applicant. And we have requested that the applicant speak with Choswood Park before moving forward as a recommendation. They haven't spoke to Choswood Park either, so we wish to defer. I think by law they have to speak, so I'm not sure. Aaron, how do I move forward here? Do we need to do a vote or can we just move forward?
Mr. Chair, I think Tony is present.
Tony.
McNeil from the planning.
I think Leah is present too. All of them.
Hi, I'm sorry, y'all. Good evening. I am doing double duty. I'm in another NPU meeting at the same time. What is the question? I apologize.
The applicant is not available and Choswood voted to defer. But since the applicant, do we need to put it before the body for a vote because the applicant is not available at this time?
Yes, I would recommend a motion to defer if that's what the neighborhood recommends.
Okay. So like solicit a motion to defer.
So moved.
Moved by Gloria. Can I get a second?
Second, James.
All right, all those who are in favor, please use the raise hand feature at this time.
Mr. Chair, someone is using some clapping hand. Oh, thank you. Never mind.
All right, we see 13. Is that right, James?
That is correct.
All those who wish to deny, closing out here. I'm gonna close it out. All those who wish to deny, please use the raise hand feature at this time, or deny the deferral. All right, seeing none. All those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, motion carries to deny. Motion carries to defer. 13-0-0.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
All right, moving forward. Z2147. I think Christy is online. Chrissy, did you want to briefly, this has been on the agenda for a couple of months. Chrissy, did you want to speak towards it? The applicant.
Okay, hey, everyone. So Troy, Christie has duly elected me to speak.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm gonna say your name first.
So we took the recommendations of the board from last meeting or a few meetings ago, in which you recommended that we take a look at the old health department building on, I believe it's on Jonesboro Road. So Christy and I went over and walked through the building. It's a very nice building. We absolutely love the building. Needs a lot of work. There's been a lot of vandalism, of course, but it's a great site. It's large enough. It already has parking. There's plenty of area there for a bunch of other functions to go on. And so I think Christy really likes the building. So with that being said, what we like to do is we would like to maybe defer our vote on the Lakewood Avenue property. We're leaning towards withdrawing that application and then moving forward with the Jonesboro property. But we need to finish our due diligence to make sure that the building is going to do what we want it to do. And most importantly, we don't have to get it rezoned. So once we finish with that, then we'll move forward with that building, and then we'll withdraw our application for rezoning for the Lakewood Avenue property. And that's all I have.
Awesome. That is awesome news. And I did talk to Gloria. Christy did ask me who was the contact for the Department of Health, Fulton County. So I did talk to Gloria. We have contacts with Misa Herring. She usually attends these meetings. And so we're going to recommend that to her and Commissioner Arrington, that you all are valued people of the community, and we would like to move forward and see if there's some type of partnership that you can have with the owners of the building, which is the Fulton County
Department of Health.
Department of Health. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I make that not make the recommendation because that would have to go before NPU-Y, but I will make that introduction from to Misa Henry and Commissioner Arrington's office. Again, council people and commissioners mixed up a lot. Moving forward, can I get a motion? Can I get a motion to defer?
Motion to defer per the applicant's request.
Can I get a second?
Second. Gloria. Second.
Motion by James, seconded by Gloria. All those who in favor, please use the raise hand feature at this time. And this includes, before we vote, I'd like to get a point of clarification from James.
Let me clarify that motion.
Thank you.
Yes, sorry, Mrs. Chair. Motion to defer vote based on the applicant's request for both Z 2147 and CDP 2131.
All right, thank you for clarification. Can I get a second?
This second.
All right.
Second.
All those who are in favor of that motion to defer, please use the raise hand feature at this time. I see a clapped hands.
It's changed, yeah. Someone's.
All right. What number you have, James?
12, Mr. Chair.
Clearing that out.
Mr. Chair, just one point of reference. Hi, Ara, how are you doing? There was no discussion on it, and I just wanted to add a few things that you and I had discussed, and that we had also forwarded to Christy that maybe did not get to Ira. And it was in addition, may I proceed?
Please proceed briefly.
Ira, I don't know if Christy forwarded it to you, but we spoke of MITSA because it previously fell under Health and Human Services. There's a high probability that the Fulton County Developmental Authority may be able to enter in and help you with funding. Also mentioned Wonder Dogs, Gracie Hamlin. She was the one that had previously negotiated quite an agreement, lease agreement. So, but we can go offline if you'll come back. I forwarded it to Christy, so make sure Christy gets that to you. It was
Oh, she did. She did already.
Oh, very good. Very, very good.
All right, appreciate it, Gloria. I didn't open it up for discussion. Is there any person before we move? Well, we're gonna close it out. We're closing it out just because it's deferral.
Yes.
All those who are not in favor, please use the raise hand. To who do not wish to defer this, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All those, James, we got 0, right?
0, that's correct.
All those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, what's the count, James?
12-0-0, Mr. Chair.
12-0-0, motion carries to defer.
Thank you, guys.
No problem. All right, moving forward. Matters for review. So we're going to do a meeting on Thursday at 7 p.m. to discuss two things. We will discuss the CDP because we have to submit a comment to the CDP before the 27th. And they will also discuss 2174 because that is closely related to the CDP. And we also need to submit a comment for that. So we need to do a dedicated meeting for 2174 and CDP because it will have a lot of conversation. So we want to do a special meeting on Thursday. We're going to send out an invite via the social media channels, but it's going to be Thursdays at 7 p.m. Thursday at 7 p.m. So that is the 23rd, September the 23rd. Is there any questions or comments towards 2174 at this time? Again, we're going to be doing I'm allowed for a couple, but we're going to be doing a further discussion on Thursday. Gloria?
Yes, sir. It's a motion to defer based on an executive decision Z2174 to Thursday. What is the date on that again? At 7 p.m. What is the date?
This doesn't require motions, matters for review and comment.
But moving it from the agenda, that doesn't require a motion. Moving it from the agenda to Thursday, I think it does. Because it comes on as maybe it doesn't. I thought it did.
Yeah. It's still on the agenda. I'm briefly opening it up for discussion, but then we're gonna do another meeting to discuss it in more detail. Paul, did you want to say? I thought I saw your hands raised.
Yeah, I think in previous meetings, we sort of got confused with another ordinance, zoning ordinance that was going to proactively rezone land around MARTA stations, which would have included many single-family properties to proactively rezone from whatever it was, including single-family, to MRMU. And there's a confusion on that because there's another zoning legislation called Z2173. On it, they list all the properties that are going to be rezoned to MRMU. So we don't have it on our agenda because we don't have any property near MARTA stations, because we don't have a MARTA station in the NPU-Y. Okay. So the MRMU zoning that is on Z2174 is there because to guarantee that there would be some affordable units if something was rezoned to MRMU. The proactive zoning in Z 2173 didn't guarantee that any of those units would be affordable. For instance, Ansley Park has single-family units, lot that would be included in the rezoning to MRMU in Z 2173. But obviously, no matter what I build in Ansley Park, it's probably not going to be affordable. So that's why some MRMU zoning ordinance adjustments were placed in Z 2174. But that's going to apply to all MRMU properties.
Yep. Okay. And yeah, just to add on to Paul, to note, so this was on the agenda last month, and I want to say the month before that. It has been amended. So as Paul mentioned, some of the items related to the proactive zoning that they has been amended out and added to a new ordinance. Or old ordinance.
Yeah, it was always there. It was just a confusion that we hear through the media about the proactive zoning issue, but it was never really included in Z 2174. But it was there because if they passed Z 2173, which did proactively rezone properties to MRMU, there was no guarantee that that rezoning would result in any affordable units under MRMU.
Okay.
So the MRMU that's included in Z 7174 is there to guarantee that no matter what property, just not what's near MARTA stations, anything that gets zoned MRMU will have to have a certain level of affordability in it.
Okay. Is there any other questions? I mean, we're going to move this to Thursday, and we're going to actually talk about Z 2173 as well. And then would like to move into new business because we'd like to create a ad hoc legislation committee. Because of what Paul just mentioned, sometimes there are legislation that does not get presented before the NPU. And so I'm gonna talk about that when we get to it in new business. But before that, let me jump to old business. So old business, there was a letter of support for Villages of Carver that was voted on in last meeting for the tax credits that's through Invest Atlanta to build out the Villages at Carver Phase 1. That has been sent to the applicant who requested it, so that it's good to go. So just wanted to make a note that we have sent that letter of support. Again, the CDP Z2147, or the items that we just mentioned, we're gonna do a special meeting on September 23rd at 7 p.m. And then also old business, there was one item that I wanted to mention. We are still working through the Inglewood Manor consolidation with Chosewood Park. It did go through a letter of support from NPU, which was unanimous back in September of 2019. Don't quote me on that, but it was a while ago, 2.5 years ago. And we also had a letter of support from Chosewood Park, as well as Land of Housing, who owns the area, and a letter of support from Carter Smith's office. So the planning team, Leah and Tony, is fully aware. They're both online, where they are responsible for handling the making sure everything is running smoothly and consolidating neighborhoods if need be. They have gave me a process that they are going to go by. It's a long drawn out process because it has to go all the way through city council to make neighborhood changes. So it is a drawn out process and it's very long. And I thought it was short, and apologize if the planning office got offended by that. I wanted to open up Tony, because I saw that he was online and he's partly responsible. I wanted to see if he had anything to comment towards the Inglewood Manor consolidation. Or Leah, for that matter. I think they're doing multiple meetings. All right, moving forward.
Mr. Chair, marketing campaign.
Marketing campaign. So for the marketing campaign, we have created from the NPU-Y, we created brochures. So we are in first design of the brochures. I'm gonna forward it over to the team to that. That'll be both the executive committee and the ad hoc committee that does the special projects. And we have created brochures. We need to do the copy. So we need to do the marketing copy, you know, finagle the words method to make sure that we can have the most impact when we send it out. So it's ready, almost ready to be printed. We just have to finish up the copy for it and move forward. We also working on a design for yard signs. And we're gonna be probably having that printed before our next meeting. So before our October meeting. And I will set a secondary meeting with the special projects committee to go over the items as well. Because we do need to get an update on the impact grant moving forward. Is there any questions before I move over to new business?
I have a question.
Yep.
Going back to those low-income tax credits for villages of Carver, is that correct?
Yep.
Well, was that on the August agenda? Because I don't see it.
It's in the notes. It's in the so we asked for a letter of support. It was through Investor Landa. So it was to do renovations for.
Oh, renovations. Okay.
Yes, it's for renovations for phase 1.
All right.
So they want to build. They want to just essentially renovate their
the existing stuff. Right?
The existing.
It's not gonna, that's not going to be someone else for trying to get that Edward Perry portion of it.
Correct. No, it's all existing. So they're existing phase 1 development. They just want to renovate some of the buildings.
Okay.
So just a renovation. Correct. All right, moving forward, bylaws amendments. It is September. So usually September is the month to submit bylaws. We did make some amendments. I would like to get that on presented. James, if you go to npu-y.org.
Oh,
scroll.
1 second, Mr. Chair. I stopped sharing. I thought you were going to pull it up. Let me share.
I can pull it up. Me too.
Okay, cool.
Okay, let me go to the site first.
You need to.
Yeah, you may have to pull it up, James. I don't see a way. Do they have an entire screen share? No.
No. Give me 1 second. Window. Share. 1 second. I get it real quick.
All right. Actually, I just brought it up.
Okay. Yeah, I hate when they change the settings where you have to share each application.
Yeah. All right, can you see my screen?
I can, yep.
All right, so we'll go quickly over the bylaws here. And the changes that we made. So this was posted on the site. So you will see it on npu-y.org underneath bylaws. And if you have any suggestions or amendments, please send a message to us as soon as you can. But we are want to get a vote in this meeting if possible. So one of the items, we of course changed the date to 2021. So the Inglewood Manor community, again, has been unanimously voted to be removed by the NPU and consolidated into Choseville Park, as well as been numerous letters of support from various stakeholders like council persons. So we decided to be proactive and remove Inglewood Manor from the bylaws. And in a time where they are in development and they finish build out, then they can ask to be added back to the bylaws. Down in section 1.4 where it says map, this map does not exist anymore. It just goes to an error page. So we decided to delete it from the bylaws. We just did some grammatical checks. We added to ensure, just to be consistent with the other bullets. All right. We did another grammatical fits with the communications. And then for the bylaws, we was not able to do the strict guidelines that they present. So we wish to kind of scale it back and make it more generic and say meetings shall take place at the discretion of the committee. So the committee chooses how they want to meet, whereby any member of NPU-Y is eligible to attend and provide input. At the September NPU-Y meeting, after taking additional suggestions, the bylaws committee will present its final report of additions and deletions for a vote. Essentially what we're doing now. All right. We also just did more grammatical checks. Oops. Here. Due to COVID, we wanted to make sure there was electronic ways to do the meetings, as we are doing that now, which was not mentioned in our bylaws. So we said, hey, the venue for the meetings of the general constituency of NPU-Y is at Burden Park, and then we added in, or you can meet via any form of electronic medium, so which is essentially Zoom that we use. And it is indicated that Zoom link is also indicated on the NPU-Y agenda. So we just wanted to make sure that due to COVID, that we have a way to meet via electronic medium. And then the next piece is just making grammatical checks. It doesn't change the intent of the sentence. We just did more grammatical checks here. And that is it. Oh, one more thing to add. We added in a more fine-tuned picture. The other pictures are blurry and cut off. So we just added in the NPU neighborhoods picture, which is on the City of Atlanta site. All right, open it up for discussion? Oh, in the note is we thought about adding in a legislation committee, but we decided to hold on that. However, in the next line item, we probably make a decision to vote on a legislation ad hoc committee, and I'll explain why when we get to it.
Troy, I thought we changed that one item slightly, that we could find the publication of the link would be at npuy.org as well as on the agenda at the planning site. I thought we put a little more body to that. If you go back up, because as it states, not everyone knows that the agenda is published at the planning site. So I thought what we had stated is that it would be found at the npuy.org site as well as at the agenda on the City of Atlanta planning site.
Okay, where is that located?
It's at the very end of a sentence, a little bit further up. It was electronic mediums, our method of disseminating. Communications. It's in this block here.
Right here.
Yes, that should also be indicated on the npuy.org site as well as at the City of Atlanta Planning Department agenda, NPU-Y agenda.
Okay, so I'm gonna say NPU an agenda or NPU-Y website, just to keep in if there's any domain changes, domain name changes.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any other feedback? I like that. All right, seeing none. I would like to solicit a motion.
Motion to approve the amended changes to the NPU-Y bylaws.
Second.
Motion by James, seconded by Gloria. Is there any other discussions before I move to the vote? All right, discussion closed. All those who are in favor, please use the raise hand feature at this time. Anybody can vote on the bylaws, so you don't have to be a member.
Don't you have to live in NPU-Y?
Yeah, thank you. You do have to live in NPU-Y. So you have to be a resident of NPU-Y. But anybody, member of no member, can vote. You just have to have a residence of NPU-Y. All right.
10, Mr. Chair, 10 yes.
10 yes, closing out. Those who
Mr. Chair, just a point of order, just to say that I think they should understand, first they heard that you had to have a 3 meeting minimum requirement. There's no minimum meeting requirement. I think we should clearly state for a vote on the bylaws.
Correct.
No minimum meeting requirement. The only requirement is that you are a business constituent or a resident of NPU-Y.
That is correct. Thank you for that clarification. All right, those who wish to deny the amended bylaws, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, we have 1 abstention. What's the count, James?
Final vote, Mr. Chair, 10-0-1.
10-0-1. The motion to amend carries. This will be submitted before the deadline, which is September the 29th, I believe. So I will submit it before then. Moving forward, recommendation for the Beltline Tax Allocation District Advisory Committee, James Holmes, Holmes, H-O-L-M-S. I apologize there, James. All right. So real briefly, the Beltline has a tax allocation district advisory committee that makes recommendations on the TAD that was passed in legislation over a decade ago. And their responsibility is to make recommendations of how the Beltline should be formed, where the TAD money should go. They will make this advisory committee will make a recommendation to the Beltline, and the Beltline makes the final decision. However, it's just like the NPU structure where we only make a recommendation, but then the deciding entity is the Beltline. So currently I talked to Nathan and Beth, Beth is the main person over TAD. And essentially a TAD is the increase in property value. If you have an increase in property value for the next year, that increased money will go to this pot. And then that's where the money gets spent on behalf of the Beltline to build out the Beltline. So we would like to make a recommendation as a chairperson to recommend James Holmes as a part of the Beltline Tax Allocation District Advisory Committee. He has already went before APAP and got a unanimous vote on the APAP committee, which all NPUs sit on that committee. All NPU chairs, delegates, or alternates sit on that committee. So he has gotten a unanimous vote there, and I wanted to make sure that he gets a vote also at the NPU level as well. James, do you have anything to say briefly?
No comments, Mr. Chair. Just thankful and excited about continuing to serve our NPU-Y community.
Yep. And as background, James currently serves as the vice chairperson, if you don't know. And then he also is the president of High Point Estates, so which borders the sub area 2 of the Beltline. All right, with
Mr.
that,
Chair, I make a motion to approve.
thank you. Motion to approve. Who was that? Was that
Kanika Greenlee.
motion to approve? Kanika Greenlee. Can I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Gloria.
Yeah.
All those in favor, please use the raise hand feature at this time.
Mr. Chair, parliamentarian, am I allowed to vote for myself?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You are, but I would recommend not to.
Okay. Great idea.
You can be the tiebreaker.
I am allowed to vote. All right.
11 yeses, Mr. Chair.
Yep. 11 yeses. I did see 11 and went down to 10.
Let's just make it 10 for the record.
10 for the record.
Yeah, given 10, showing someone pull their hand down early.
All those who wish to deny, please use the raise hand feature this time. All those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, motion carries unanimously. 10-0-0.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
All right, congratulations, James.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck at City Council. So he goes before the next step is that he goes before the City Council the CDHS, the Community Development Committee. And then he will go before City Council. All right, moving forward to committee reports. I would like the Education Committee, since she did interrupt. Just playing with you.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm Monique, and I'm the Education Committee Chair. And can I share my screen, Chairperson?
Yes, you may.
Oh, sorry. And then I didn't have the screen up. Uh-oh. All right, well, we're just gonna do this from my email. So what I'm coming to you today to talk about is our community engagement meeting that we're having for our Carver Cluster 5-year strategic plan. And it's really important that we all join together around the Carver Cluster, because right now we're really dealing with the next 5 years of what could be a transition in this neighborhood and what do our schools look like. And so we get an opportunity this time around to actually choose a signature program like IB, the Interbaccalaureate program that you see in the Jackson cluster and the North Atlanta cluster. We get an opportunity to say we want Interbaccalaureate in our community, or we want STEAM certification in our community. Like, what would we like to see a framework look like in our schools? And this is the time to tell the district that and plan out 5 years. Y'all know I got 3 and she's 2. So 5 years from now, she will be a Atlanta Public School student if we're on the same path. And so I want everybody to know it's not just about your child, it's about all children and the development of our community. Right now, we're at a historic enrollment decline in Carver. We were projected in 2015 to have 800 students in our school, in our high school. We currently are sitting at less than 400 kids in each of the Carver STEAM and early college. So we were supposed to have 1,000 almost in one of the buildings. And now we're seeing between the two, we barely make 1,000.
So this enrollment decline is going to continue as we get more choice options, and parents can kind of go wherever they want when they don't see opportunity being provided to their children. So we need to offer the competitive programming. We need to offer better facilities. We need to provide better opportunities and access to our students. And that's not just for the students that go there. Like, we want to attract new students because we are experiencing brain drain. Which leads me to my next point. So please be there. You can go online or Pittsburgh Yards. I'll put it in the chat where you can RSVP or, take a picture of this Scan Me at bit.ly/NPU-Y Ed Town Hall. This is super important. We only do this every 5 years, and this directs money into our schools. So we need everybody to really show up and share with our community and with our board what we want to see. And then the other, sorry, y'all, I'm going through my email because I didn't prepare this well. There's an eSplosh meeting happening on tomorrow at 6:30. They already had their first meeting, and from the first meeting, they came up with this project list, which I'm going all the way to the bottom, y'all. Every cluster gets a piece of this $650 million that you all will get to vote on November 2nd. And so what is being, and I'm going down, this is what they're proposing for this 2022 SPLOST program. And as you go through this, and all of these materials are in the folder that James has created for us. But as you go through this, the Carver cluster is not represented. Let me just be clear. We are not getting investment. If you want to go and look at the records of how much investment that has been made, we've received about $200 million in the past 2 decades. But a lot of that has not really been targeted to improving and enhancing our schools. It's just kind of been maintenance checks and making sure nobody, make sure people safe, make sure nobody die, basic stuff. Do we got HVAC? Do we got carpet in the space? But we haven't had significant upgrades other than early college being built in 2007. And so just thinking about what investment looks like for the next go round, our community is in dire need of this investment, and we are nowhere to be found in any of these numbers that is represented in this presentation. Carver or any of the Carver cluster schools aren't anywhere to be found, and the most significant number I'm sharing with my Carver students is this one. This was actually at the response to a community engagement meeting in July, where they said, we're going to invest in auditoriums. We have a 100-year-old historic building, and Carver is not on here. We have the oldest building in our cluster. It's a historic building. W.E.B. Du Bois taught in that building. And you're telling me that we aren't here to get any type of investment. If you've ever been in our auditorium at Carver, it is unfortunate. And so I say to you, please, please, please show up to the eSplosh meeting tomorrow and let your voice be heard, because we need a piece of this $650 million. I'm going to put that in the chat for everybody, so you know where to sign up.
All right.
Are there questions?
Yeah, I just want to do a point of clarification.
Okay.
So that presentation that she showed, the budget was $650 million. That was a budget, and Carver got none of that. Just want to make that known.
Wow.
Carver cluster or Carver?
Carver cluster. So there are
Carver
two schools. There are 2 schools. Thomasville Heights is getting a grease trap. And I know in the last eSplosh, Carver High School got a field building. And then I believe Price is getting a some HVAC work. But again, this is all very basic things. When we talk about innovation, how are we going to be a STEAM certification school when our labs look like some from 1975? I mean, we can't be an innovative space if our labs don't reflect that. And you've invested $100 million in North Atlanta. You've invested $50 million into Jackson. Like, how can we be a 21st century school if you're not making similar investments in our schools? So this meeting, they vote on this October 4th, the school board. So if you want your voice to be heard, you need to email your board member and join the meeting tomorrow through registering through this link I just shared.
All right, thank you.
Who's the board member that has the Carver cluster?
Leslie Grant and Ishay, and then we have our Collins, and we have our 3 members at large.
So I just want to know, how do they make up a SPOS? Who's the one that makes the budget up?
So what they
It is-
did, just so real quick, they did a facilities assessment in 2015 and 2020. I've shared that facilities assessment inside of the folder. And they look at the facility assessment, just pretty much says, is this facility going to last 20, 30 years, right? It's not really saying if you could do more innovative things with the space. It just says, is this a critical need where it's going to cause harm or safety issues with students? And if so, we need to make it a critical thing where we need to repair. So if you look at the 2020 assessment they did in March, you'll see like how they assessed our schools. And currently, all of our schools are at good and above fair. All of the Carver cluster schools are in the good condition. And that's just because of the nature of how schools are built and the purpose. But what we're asking for is beyond just, we want, safe schools, right? We want innovative and schools that are gonna push the margins like what we see on the north side. And so it's really important that we just don't get the bare minimum. Like in the facilities assessment, we need new carpet. We need some control systems to help with our electrical distribution system. They're looking at water distribution, ensure the pipes are replaced. Like we're looking at very basic things, but we need to be looking at innovation. So I just wanted to share that it's really important that we advocate, or we're gonna miss out again, and we'll be in 2 decades of no investment.
Well, you also mentioned that there's been a decline in enrollment. Do you have any reasons for that?
Yeah, when they broke down the small schools, we had all of these small schools that had a lot of duplicative services and administration. So when they tore those down in 2015, and they took out all of those, like we had research and healthcare, we had the arts programming, we had all these small schools that caused programming. But once those tore down, those families left our school and did not return. So if we don't get ahead of this, our historic school is going to collapse on itself, and we're not going to really have a viable neighborhood school, which impacts our community. As we see, we're doing all this wonderful work for CDP, but if our schools aren't viable options for our parents, I mean, me and my husband included, then what's going to happen to your homes, So we got to make sure we're protecting them.
Well, did the
All right,
early
thank you.
college
Paul, we
program
gotta wrap up.
decline?
One more question, Paul. We're gonna have to wrap it up.
Did the early college portion of all this decline?
Yes, that is in decline as well. It's no longer a testing facility, so you don't test in. So now they have a diverse group of students there that have different varying needs. And so we've seen the decline in the early college side as well. And so ultimately I'm trying to work with the district to see how we can get better programming in our schools and unify our district, our cluster. But we need some voices other than mine, because I think they're getting tired of hearing me. But please, please, please join either or both the East Blocks meeting on Tuesday and next Wednesday, the town hall. These are 2 very important meetings.
Thank you. Appreciate it for that, Education Chair. Moving forward for public safety, Gloria.
Thank you, Troy. Monique, that was awesome. It was a great segue. My understanding, if I'm not mistaken, is that the school board candidates, both incumbents as well as, I'm not sure if the whole board is up for election, but we have several blighted schools within NPU-Y, at least 2, one in Chosewood and one in Lakewood. We've been able to bend the ear of Ishay Collins, who quite frankly is agreeing with us that the one in Lakewood has been the site of a homicide, several shootouts, which led to a homicide. It's just been and it sits directly behind the Ali building. So we're hoping that, if I'm not mistaken, Monique maybe can elaborate more, that there may be a sensing session with those candidates, maybe not, but clearly I think several of them will be in-house. So that is one thing that we're concerned tremendously about, to either If they're going to replenish the school with students, fine, but otherwise turn it over so that the community can begin a development towards rehabilitation. Several initiatives. The city has, in fact, I mentioned to Troy earlier, I believe that the city is looking for candidates from the various NPUs to sit on the Public Safety Commission. This is a policy-oriented commission looking to shape some reformation and mitigate the current violent crimes that we're seeing. Again, I think it was formed either, I believe in August. The policy, again, it's called the Public Safety Commission. I believe it's an arm of the Public Safety Committee, which is a standing committee headed by our own Joyce Shepherd, standing committee of the city. Again, that is one of several initiatives. The other initiative is the Anti-Violence Commission. It was formed, I believe, in August by Mayor Bottoms. And this is the tenets of that commission. It clearly is looking to install under their what's called Operation Shield Camera, 250 more cameras in the city. 10,000 new streetlights, 10,000, 250 officers by the end of FY22. Increased enforcement of nuisance properties. I don't think we got to hear from our solicitor this evening, but Solicitor Burns and I have had a conversation, and that is one of the hallmark bandwagon issues that they are looking at in NPU-Y, but certainly in certain communities. Again, this commission, this anti-violence commission, one of the tenets upon which they stand is the enforcement of nuisance properties. Earlier, we heard from Captain Adams, who mentioned we currently have housed at Atlanta Metropolitan College what's called the Atlanta APLI. It stands for Atlanta Atlanta Police Leadership Academy. It invited previously the community to come for sensing sessions. There have been at least 2 that I participated in. I think Troy and I participated back in August, and then more recently, September 1st. I participated along with other ACRB members, but Chris and I joined them that Friday for a cleanup of South Atlanta. All of this is under the bigger umbrella of restorative justice, reimagining policing, and police community relations. Every second Friday of the month, we meet as stakeholders in the villages of Carver. I believe Shannon Judd is currently present and on the line. What we find is that 305, through the initiative there at Villages of Carver, and I would dare say a great support through the integral group that supports that community, have been able to significantly drive back crime. It's Beat 305. Lieutenant Sinks heads that group and that department. And we, in my community, are in conversations with him. We've recently acquired a 501c3, and we believe that if we can push back crime in 305, that same group, and again, Lieutenant Sinks has asked us to crunch a plan, and that because they're just next door, we believe that we can raise those funds to get what we need more than anything in the Southeast Quadrant, which is to push back on that Plainview criminal activity. Again, that is open to all of the community, all stakeholders. It's the second Friday. Shannon, if you will put your information in the chat. Second Friday, 10 I believe, 10:30 to roughly noon, 11:30. And it's all stakeholders comparing the data on what the initiatives are in each community. And it's an effort to keep each community whole. I think that is, okay. The Anti-Violence Advisory Council is seeking a director. Again, this is a newly formulated council. And again, if I can read the mission statement, it's seeking to recommend safety reform in an effort to mitigate serious violent crimes. I believe that is it. A neighborhood watch program. Chief Murphy, who once presided over Zone 3 as the commander, has been engaging with us. She sent Inspector Tillman to the Monday meeting of Lakewood Heights. He is going to see what he can do to help us in NPU-Y, along with our marketing campaign, get to know who's there. We've got 12,000 residents in NPU-Y to do a broader network of campaigning, letting them know that you've got a bigger body that's serving, but also an opportunity to provide the newcomers with, I think Troy mentioned it earlier, it's a flyer, it's a trifold that lists the meetings of both the local community, the resources within the city resources, as well as PAD and a couple other initiatives that we believe are helpful to all communities. I think that's it. If you've got a complaint against the police officers, there's two forms. You can go to the APD itself, Office of Professional Standards, called OPS, or you can also file a complaint with the Atlanta Citizens Review Board. There's all kinds of measures in place. There's mediation, because sometimes it's just misunderstanding. Oftentimes, but the thrust of it is, if a citizen has a complaint, you've got two separate entities to lodge your complaint with. Each does an investigation with a finding and reports back to the community or to the individual. I think that's it. I think that's it, Troy.
So,
All
so
right.
Mr. Chair, quick time check is 8:51.
Okay, 9 more minutes.
Are there any questions? No.
All right, no questions. Moving forward, Communications Committee, we are looking for a chair. So if you're very communicative, you like to converse on next door, Facebook groups, as well as have some, small marketing experience perhaps, then we would love to have you as part of the NPU-Y leadership team. We're also looking for a chair for Parks and Recreation. So if you are part of Friends of South Bend or Friends of Lakewood, Langford, then we would love to have you. We're looking for a chair that leads the Parks and Recreation. With that being said, we're going to move forward to announcements. I think Kelly Jean has something.
I do. This is on behalf of Friends of South Bend Park, as well as Eco Addendum. There is going to be an event on October the 9th at 1:30 p.m. at South Bend Park. It's going to be a walkthrough to show. Oh, I'm sorry, Geneva, Mom was talking to me. One quick second. Sorry, she just got out of bed. So South Bend Park, 1:30 p.m. on October the 9th, a walkthrough of all the invasive species removal and other work that Eco Addendum and Friends of South Bend Park have been doing. It's great work. There's been a lot of volunteer experiences, and we've been doing a lot of removal of invasive species throughout the park, and just wanted a chance to show off to everybody what has been going on. So if you're interested in a walk through the park, if you've never been to South Bend or interested in the work that's going on over there, you can reach out to me and I can direct you to additional information. But 1:30 on the 9th, and we meet at the parking area that's right in front behind the first pavilion.
Thank you.
What time is that, Kelly?
1:30 p.m.
1:30.
Yep. And then we also having a cleanup on the 9th, which is earlier that day, which is from 10 to 12. So the cleanup would be on University Avenue, just cleaning up the on-ramps. The on-ramps are getting very, very dirty. So we want to go in and clean the on-ramps onto 75, 85 north and south. And that should only take somewhere between 1 and 2 hours of cleaning up, just because we usually have a good turnout. So we will be sending a flyer. And once you attend that, please go ahead and also attend the South Bend Park. I will also attend the South Bend Park as well.
One more announcement. It's more than very, very dirty. You can't even drive through there without getting trash blowing up by the wind. But we also have I think there was a cleanup scheduled for this past Saturday. B was in, I think Jazz and a couple others were responsible for it. It's been later scheduled to October. I don't think there's a fixed date. There may be, but I'm sure notice will be put out. But again, it's
October 16th.
October 16th.
Where cleanup is that? Is that also University Avenue?
No, it's in the Lakewood, Jonesboro. I think the center of the center of the gathering will be at Ollie's Event Center in that parking lot. And I think they're going to spread out into different directions.
Yeah, from 8:30 to 11:30, and then there'll be a barbecue following it.
Sounds delicious.
But
are there any other announcements for the benefit of the body?
Troy, why can't we get the city to do something about that ramp? That ramp.
That is owned by the state. So the city does have some employees that's cleaning up in that area.
You need to contact your state representative. Any interstates, I-75, 85, I-20 is all under the state of Georgia. Those are Georgia highways. So that's the Georgia Department of Transportation.
Yeah, and we do have a contact. We're gonna try to press on the contact to see if we can get because they cut the grass, they just don't clean up the trash.
Horrible. Well, they do. They just don't clean it up as frequently as it's littered.
Oh, okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
it looks, you can't help but see
So
it.
hold your
sometimes.
state representatives accountable. The city of Atlanta is not responsible for everything.
Yep, the city, yep, the state department.
Yeah, you know,
All right,
when
with
I,
that being said, is there any other announcements for the sake of time? I know we got 4 more minutes.
Mr. Chair, quick question from the chat. Someone is asking the development at McDonough and Lakewood behind the Shake Restaurant. What is that? Is that the FCS and Carver Market development?
Carver, where's the intersections?
Corner of
So
McDonough.
it's
Lakewood.
right at McDonough and Lakewood behind the Shack restaurant next to the railroad tracks. They just broke ground and cleared land there, but I was just wondering if anyone knew what the development was.
isn't there an apartment development like,
Yeah, like probably about a half a mile down is where all those apartments are.
I want to say, I'll talk to Jacob because I know he mentioned it to me. I want to say it's a apartment development, another apartment development.
well,
But
that's South Atlanta though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
South Atlanta.
Well, I know, are you talking about the barbecue place at the corner of?
Yeah, behind there. They just cleared a bunch of land off back there and it is not far from you at Chosewood Park.
Well, that's the part, that's, I think 1579 Lakewood Avenue, which was approved for senior housing.
Oh, okay.
But that's in South Atlanta though, right?
Yeah, it's
Paul?
in South Atlanta.
It
but
is South Atlanta.
They make a mistake. In some of the public announcements, they said it was in Chosewood Park.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys.
Very
No
nice.
I just have a quick announcement. I have my hand up.
Okay, go ahead, Sherry. I was about to ask.
I just wanted to remind everyone that October the 12th is the first day of early voting. It'll be here before you know it. There are tons of people running for office. So everyone needs time to look and see who they want to vote for. Also keep in mind that they have reduced the hours for voting. Instead of them being from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., the hours now are from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. However, while early voting does start on Tuesday, October the 12th, it goes through October the 29th. And there are 2 Saturdays and 2 Sundays included in that. Saturday, October 16th, Saturday, October 23rd, as well as Sunday, October 17th, and Sunday, October 24th. With so much going on and of course, Election Day is November 2nd. Of course, with so much going on with voter suppression, obviously it may be to your best advantage if you vote early, whether you vote early in person or you vote or you get your mail ballot. If you have moved or you need to change your name or you need to change your address, just simply Google my voter page. Or you can go to fultonelections.com to get all the latest information on what's going on with elections. Make your voices heard.
Sure, the standing rule though is if there's some discrepancy, you can provisionally cast a ballot, right?
Correct, but we know those probably won't get processed. So if you vote early and there's a problem, you really will have sufficient time to clear that up versus on election day when you have, 2 days, and that really is not enough for most people.
And Sherry, we had a question from the chat. Is there an absentee voting option?
There is. To get your absentee ballot, you can either Google my voter page, which will take you to the Secretary of State's website, or you can go to mvp.sos.ga.gov, and I'll try to put that in the chat. I was multitasking, and you might close it before I get a chance to put it in there, but I would recommend that between now and November 2nd that you guys just put it in there every week, because when people move, they forget. People change their names, they forget, and we want to make sure that people are able to cast their ballot. And also that you vote for everything that's on the list. Do you know that 80% of voters vote at the top of the ballot and then don't fill the rest of them in? So we want, because they don't want to vote for the wrong thing. So, you know, we want to give people enough time to know that there is an election, there are 14 people running for mayor, and there are probably 50 other people on the ballot, and they need time to talk to their friends and to do the research, because it matters who represents you.
Yep.
Yeah.
One more question from the chat. It says, are sample ballots ready for review or ready to review?
I do not think so. I don't think the sample ballots are ready yet, but then that's another thing that you can find at fultonelections.com and also on my voter page.
All right, appreciate it. It's very important to vote. Y'all voted for me as NPU chair. So.
And you know, I say, just like people have card parties, what people should do is people should get their early ballots, get the ballots in the mail, and then they can have a ballot party. They can sit out in the driveway and social distance, or they can have a Zoom ballot party where different people research different categories, and then they all come together and discuss, you know, which are the candidates that they feel will best represent you guys.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because it's a lot of work. So, you know, doing it with your friends makes everybody understand it.
So Kelly just placed in the chat a sample ballot for Adrian, that where she can find a sample ballot.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. The last piece is the planners report. Aaron, did you want to talk towards the planners report? And that will close out the meeting.
I don't think Erin was on tonight, was she? I thought it was Tony and Leah. I didn't see it.
I thought she jumped on. Maybe I didn't see her.
Oh, she is
All right.
on. She's on.
Erin, are you there? I see she unmuted, but it's not working.
No, we can't hear her. She can't hear. She's saying, can y'all hear me?
Oh, we can't hear you, Erin. Okay. Okay, she's going to drop the updates in the chat, and I can read it from there, and then we'll go ahead and adjourn.
Did you say motion to adjourn?
No, not yet. I'm going to allow her to drop the comments, and then we'll adjourn from there.
James, are you laughing with us or at us?
Laughing at you, Miss Gloria.
All right, so the first thing is the State of Georgia and Atlanta Regional Commission has approved the current draft of the CDP. They will have a quarterly public hearing on September 27th at 6 p.m. That is why we're having the meeting on Thursday, is in order to provide any comments towards the CDP. The department will continue to incorporate feedback from the public as the next draft is finalized, and they plan to adopt, the city council plan to adopt in October. NPU University has a elections integrity clinic. Oh, I forgot to mention the nominations committee. My bad there. So they have an elections integrity committee. I am looking for a nominations chairperson for NPU-Y, but the elections integrity committee clinic is on September the 23rd at 6 p.m. And this is for neighborhood and NPU nominating committees. There you will learn the best practices for conducting officer elections. And then you also have a save the date Historic Preservation Week 2021, which is on October the 18th through the 22nd. The planning department has scheduled a week-long lineup of great speakers reflecting our shared legacy, the people, places, companies, and more that make up Atlanta. All right, with that said, that is it. I would like to solicit a motion to adjourn. I'm going to send a message to look for a nominations chairperson offline. So if you're interested, let me know. Again, yeah.
Last thing is, for our Thursday meeting, I think it's a good idea to share with folks who are going to come the analysis from A through the NPUs that have already crunched what they believe are the issues. I think it'll give folks who come to the meeting a point of reference as to what the arguments are, if you don't mind. We can, yeah.
We will Paul has sent me a review earlier today. I am going to review it and then I'm gonna send out that me and Paul and James and the executive committee is gonna, where you part of that, we'll make a review of it and then we'll send it out to the greater body on Thursday. And then we'll also mention those items that you mentioned from the other NPUs.
Yeah. Very
I'd
cool.
like to submit a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Gloria. Can I get a second?
Second, Kelly Jean.
Second, Kelly Jean. With that said, the meeting has now been adjourned. I'm going to keep the chat up. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.